neighbors, thanks for clicking on my video. This is all about Pottery Barn Inspired Creations. It's part of the DIY inspiration playlist. Hosts are LOLID from LOLID's Creations, Katie from Lady Red Crafting, and then our guest host this month is Michelle from the Southern Shell. Their channel links and a link to the playlist will be in my description box below. I hope you like what I put together. For now, sit back, relax, and enjoy. Project number 1, colorful wall hangings. So these are all Pottery Barn dupes. Here's the canvases I purchased at Walmart. I'm going to do 2. Pottery Barn has 4 different ones. $329 per wall hanging. We're going to make ours a little bit smaller and much less expensive. I'm going to start by cutting down these paint stir sticks. These are going to make up the frame for the 2 wall hangings. I just wanted to do that to get it out of the way because I wanted to clean up the sawdust and everything. I do want that there when I was painting and stuff. So I cleaned up my desk and then I proceeded to work on the canvas pieces. Canvas sheets. Canvas. Let's just call it canvas. Okay, so I'm using the tape to leave a white mark inside the frame and before the color, the background. And that's to mimic the white from the mat in the original Pottery Barn wall hangings. I don't have any matte paper and I didn't really want to make a mat, so we're just leaving that white mark there. That's why it's covered. However, I did have to paint on this paint, so it's a little bit watery. I would have preferred to pounce it, but the paint is just not in very good condition right now. It's old and gloppy, and I just really wanted to use that color. I just had to water it down, so we're going to have some issues with bleeding, but we're going to deal with that. I chose these little butterflies for the images in the middle. It was one of the smaller images I could find, and these canvases are 8 by 10, which, you know, seems kind of big, but by the time you do the frame and the white space, it just gets smaller and smaller. So I'm going to mark the middle just by measuring corner to corner, and that's where the butterflies will go. Alright, I'm arranging my paint stir sticks here. I actually measured once, but ended up cutting twice because I cut the short pieces too long. So once we got them all figured out, we get the burnt umber paint. Just rub that in with the damp baby wipe. I'm just going to go back and make sure I'm happy with the color. And here's where we see the bleed through. Yeah, not a very good peel and reveal, but we're going to fix that. So we're going to tape off the green part now. And that way we're going to create a better line in between the white and the green. And it's not going to look all messed up. So I'm coming in with some of this white acrylic paint and my foam dabber. And I'm just going to go slow and do a really light coat to start. And that actually helps with bleed through as well. And then just build up your color. Once you get, the original layer, it helps the adhesion on the tape, and then as you cover it up, it fills in the color. And this is a much better peel and reveal here. So, fear not when you have bleed through like that. It's easily fixed. So we're I figured out a way to do my paint stir sticks to just make it look a little bit interesting. So we're going to do one stick that's flush with the edge and stops short, and then the next one will be flush with that edge and stops short. And we'll do that for all 4 sticks. And since I'm a 2 glue kind of gal, I'm using wood glue for the majority of the back of this stick, and then just a little bit of hot glue on the ends there. That's going to help that stay down right away, but also I remember one time I heard Brenda from Rustic and Lace saying that when she used the wood glue all the way to the ends that the wood swelled a little bit. So I always take that into account now when I'm gluing. I like to do the hot glue on the ends instead. And I do that with all 4 pieces on both wall hangings. And you know, it's movable for about 2 or 3 seconds. So when I get that down there, I check real quick, make sure I'm happy with it. Now we're going to put our little butterflies down. Now that they're as small as can be, we're doing a tacky glue and wood glue. And I'm just double checking it's in the middle here. Do the same for both, and better look in the final reveal. Hey neighbors, just jumping in here to ask if you are enjoying the video so far. I hope that you will like and subscribe if you haven't already. Now back to crafting. Okay, project number 2 is an inspired trinket dish. There's the original. It's actually like a plant pot, though they do have a fancy name for it. And there's a close-up view of one of them. So I knew I had this peel and stick, like wall sticker. I'm not sure if they call it wall paper, but it's definitely got a good adhesive on it. So when I saw those plant pots, I thought, well, I don't know if I could make a plant pot or even if I want a plant pot. So I love trinket dishes lately. So we're going to turn this into, see that? Oops, I accidentally ripped the cardboard. So I'll go back to that train of thought. But basically I was ripping the fabric off of it and some of the cardboard came with it. So I had to figure out how to fix that. But basically this is a larger trinket dish, and it looks like the original was made with just cardboard and maybe some tape and then fabric, and it looks like it was probably handmade. I think it came with a bead lot that I got off eBay many years ago. So how are we going to use that inspiration to make this trinket dish? Well, we're just going to cover it in blue and white, which is what the original was. So we're starting with the bottom. And I traced around the dish on this wallpaper, and then I cut it large. Got just let go of the backing on one part of it, and then played around with the placement, and then when I was happy where it was, I went ahead and peeled off the rest of the backing. And then I did have to come back in and trim it a wee bit, but I was expecting that. We're just going to get those thin edges off there, and that's much better. And then we're going to work on the side, and it was just a matter of finding the patterns that I liked, and did I want them repeated or did I want all new ones? And I found a strip that I liked that I thought would look good, on the round surface. So I went ahead and cut that out with the backing and everything. And then again, I found a placement that I liked and got it where I wanted it, and then peeled off the rest of the backing, and wouldn't you know it, it doesn't quite fit all the way around. I went ahead and put some hot glue underneath the edges because those weren't staying down, probably because of the curve. They wanted to lift up, and also because the wallpaper is thick, so it's pulling up because it wants to be flat. So a little bit of hot glue fixed that, but be careful because you can definitely feel the heat coming up through the bottom where you put the glue at. So again, I just found a pattern or a piece where I thought it would look good and not look like a patch. I used a foam dabber to dab some glue on the inside and on the bottom on the inside, and you'll get some great looks at this during the final reveal. Okay, project number 3, cheerful colored glassware. I'm actually not going to make the glassware. I'm going to make this candle holder inspired by this glassware. This is the same collection that the wall hangings came from. So I'm going to take apart that stand there made out of 3 candle holders, and this was part of a group craft that I did many years ago and never added the lighting or anything like that. So I wedged a screwdriver, a flathead screwdriver, in and separated this one candle holder from the rest, and I'm just going over it with a paper towel and rubbing alcohol for a really long time, and then a piece of sandpaper for a really long time. And then once I was done with that, I took it outside and spray painted it white. Forgot to film that, so sorry, but there it is. Now it took me a little bit to get that sticky tag off the bottom, but you know, I kept at it because I've had a circumstance in the past where I glued on top of the put the sticky price tag, and the glue actually only glued to the price tag and not to the glass around it. So yeah, so I try to be careful now and just get all that sticky stuff removed. So I'm going over this with an up and down motion. I thought that's what I would like. I thought that would give me, you know, what I saw in my mind when I thought of this inspiration, but you know, the quality of the paint, and then it was drying really fast, and then when I went to go over it, it was starting to clump up, and then, you know, I was getting the look, but it was messy. It was looking messy, and I got so frustrated. So I ended up wiping off what I already did. So I went ahead and worked on the base of the candle holder, and since it was sprayed white, I had no trouble getting the pink on there and getting the look that I wanted. And a little bit of white shows through when it's dry, and I'm totally happy with that. That's what I was thinking of. So I'm just going to finish that up, and I'm just using a foam paintbrush that is broken, so it doesn't have the handle on it. So now I'm adding some baking soda to some of that gloppy paint and a little bit of water, and then we're just going to stir it up, and we're going to resort to good old foam dabber. It's not going to give me the look that I was thinking of, but it is going to get this glass covered with the color that I wanted. There's what it looks like. And first try gluing, I had the glue too far to the edges, and I had to glue it a second time. I'm using this, actually I think that was, oh no, I think that's all-purpose glue. I think it's just called all-purpose glue. And you see I'm putting it just way too close to the edge. I forgot that there was actually a lip. So when I put it on, I was just like big groan, like, oh my gosh. And then when I took it off, some of the white got pulled up as well too, but I'm going to fix that. That's an easy fix. So coming back with more of this all-purpose glue, And I'm sorry, my hand totally covered it, but it is called all-purpose glue. And then some of the hot glue, because I'm a two-glue kind of gal. So all-purpose glue, hot glue, and now the glass is actually sitting on the glue. And then I'm coming in with a really small paintbrush and getting the pink on the outside edge of the base. I might go back and try and remove some more of that glue, but I like how this looks for now, and better look in the final reveal.